The term texture refers to a material that's based on pixels. That is, it's made out of an image mapped to the surface. To see how this works, I'll activate the paint bucket and choose from one of these categories in this list. I'll try ground cover. These materials are all image-based, that is, based on pixels. I'll select this material and click on the surface. The pixels are mapped to the surface at a certain scale. If you double-click on a material, you open that for editing. In the PC, there's a separate Edit tab that allows you to access this information down here. We can set the size of the texture map right in this area. Let's say that these rocks are a bit large. I'm going to change this to be 2 feet by 2 feet. Close. And then let me just undo and then reassign the texture at this new scale. And you'll see that it's mapped differently, and the texture map repeats. The process of repeating it in both directions is called tiling. And it's beyond the scope of this tutorial to show you how to make a tileable texture map. To do that, right-click on a surface and choose Make Unique Texture. You're prompted to select a size for that texture. I'll just click Create Texture. And it looks like nothing has happened, but actually something has. To see that, click on the Home symbol to check out your colors in Model. Right now we have 3. We have the default colors, we have this texture map which we assigned to the top face, and we have this white one which we just created. To edit that, we need to use a separate program like Photoshop to do that work. And there's actually a setting in SketchUp right here under Applications where you can select a program that you want to use to edit image files. I'm using Photoshop CS4. To jump to that, I can right-click, choose Texture, Edit Texture Image, and that will take me immediately over to Photoshop. Here we have it open, and you can see that the aspect ratio is very similar to what we see on the screen in SketchUp. I can then go ahead and make this unique, either by painting or using any of the tools in Photoshop. Save. Here, this is a JPEG, so I'll just save it with high compression. OK. And then when I switch back to SketchUp, you'll see that the change has automatically updated. In SketchUp, you have the ability to adjust the texture coordinates, which is the method that is used to map the pixels from the image onto the geometry. To access this, you need to right-click on the surface and choose Texture Position. You enter this special mode where we have these 4 colorful push pins, and each one does a different thing. Hover over the push pin to read the tooltip. This one allows you to move the texture by dragging the push pin. You can change the origin point of the texture coordinates. This one here allows you to scale and shear the texture by dragging the pin. I can rotate it, I can scale it, and thereby tile it more. And this one here allows you to distort the image. And it's almost like a 3-dimensional effect, where you can rotate the whole plane that this texture is mapped to. This here allows you to scale and rotate as well. So we can get this kind of Hall of Mirrors effect here. And when you're done, you can say Done when you right-click. And this all comes from manipulating the texture coordinates.